so good to be back.
Yes! Yes! Praise God! Praise God! Hallelujah!
Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APWSPORTS signing in, and welcome to episode 3 of season 6 of the YouTube series Chicago Bears Weekly. Now, in today's episode, we're going to do a little bit of revisionist history, as much as we don't want to kind of look back on the Bears 2022 season because of how bad it was.
So much pain! So much pain!
It is still time to look back and grade the year 2 of one Justin Fields. Before I dive into any of that, make sure you guys hit this video a like, as it continues to help this channel to grow and to beat the YouTube algorithm. And if you are one of the people that are not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor and click that subscribe button down below and the notification bell so you will not miss any of the content that I post on this channel. But it's time to dive into another episode of Chicago Bears Weekly. Without further ado, let's dive into it. Now, this episode it's not going to be about anything Justin Fields trade related. It's not going to be about anything about that because we've already had that set in stone and we're not looking at any of that. And if you guys want to watch a video of my thoughts on that, I will leave those in the cards right above me. In this particular episode, we're going to take a look back and see how Justin Fields improved from year 1 into year 2. And as much as I don't like the numbers, if you guys are new to this channel, not a numbers guy, I don't like looking at the stat sheet to determine whether a player is better than who or not, but we're going to look at Justin Fields' numbers from year 2 compared to what he did in year 1. So as we're looking at his passing statistics, he threw for more yards with 1,870 in 2021 and 2,242 this year. And he threw for 10 more touchdowns with 17-7 from 2021. He did have one more interception this year, and his QBR was 54.0. His rating is 85.2. A number I'm going to focus on in his passing statistics, and that is this sack number right here. 55 sacks. That is one thing I want to touch on at some point in this video, and we're going to go back to that. But as we're looking at Justin Fields' rushing statistics, they are dramatically improved. More carries, more yards. He reached over 1,000 yards with 1,143 yards, 8 touchdowns, 67 is his longest run, and he did fumble the football a lot, but he didn't lose one of those fumbles, thankfully enough. So as we look at the totality of Justin Fields' year 2 as the Chicago Bears quarterback, you can see, at least in the numbers wise, there was improvement. But also in the eye test, there was even more improvement. Of course, the beginning of the Bears season, I want to say at least weeks 1 through 6. Now, we're talking about the Washington Commanders game, and I think after that game, the game that they came in that kind of mini bye week, and they ended up facing the New England Patriots, is where I believe the tide started to change for Justin Fields and this Chicago Bears offense. Because as we've seen through the first few weeks of the season, this Bears passing game, I think, was at its absolute lowest during those parts of the season early on. As we take a look more at the Bears schedule, week 1 was a monsoon, week 2 against Green Bay, week 3 against the Texans, week 4 against the Giants, week 5 against the Minnesota Vikings, and I think week 6, I think that was the lowest point of the Chicago Bears offense, Justin Fields, in his passing game. But I believe the Patriots game, the last victory of the season, mind you, and it was in week 7 on Monday night, but I believe that game really started to change the course of the Chicago Bears passing game. As far as Justin Fields throwing the football, we did see a little bit that he had some struggles early on with inaccuracies. He did have some struggles early on as far as making some reads and really hitting on those reads. We see with the Chicago Bears offense, as far as passing football wise, later on in the season, it started to get better. The weapons for the Chicago Bears, I'm not going to say were necessarily great. You lose Darnell Mooney in week 12 against the Jets. You had N'Keal Harry, who was in and out of the lineup if it was inactive or whether it was injuries. Byron Pringle will struggle to be in and out of the lineup as well with his injuries. You had Equinemius St. Brown, who was more of a blocking receiver versus a pass catcher. Dante Pettis, we're still waiting to find his hands. You have a Bears receiving core that was very, very underwhelming. You add the tight end position with Cole Kmet, who really didn't start coming on as a pass catcher in this particular offense with Luke Getsy until later on in the season. And speaking of Luke Getsy, he made some adjustments as far as what he was able to do with Fields, especially after the Patriots win, or at the Patriots win, I should say. He really adjusted the offense to really feel what Justin Fields can do best. And we start to see more of the running game packages for Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears offense, which is why they finished as the #1 ranked rushing team in the NFL during the 2022 season, and which is why we've seen Justin Fields finish with over 1,000 yards, whether it was broken plays, because let's just be honest, this Chicago Bears offensive line, we're going to give them probably an F grade if we want to be honest as far as pass protecting goes, and that goes to lead to what I was talking about earlier and the 55 sacks that Justin Fields felt during 2022. Now, a lot of people are going to say that it was Fields' fault, which some of it was because he was trying to throw the football down the field and really push the ball sometimes. It's just this offensive line wasn't really great at protecting him. And we've seen a lot of plays, even some of his touchdown runs, where they weren't scripted, they weren't designed. He was literally getting out of the pocket to escape pressure. So that is also going to hinder some of the numbers. A lot of people are going to say the Bears didn't have a 300-yard passing game in 2022, which is absolutely true. The Bears really wasn't keen throwing the football very well, which is true. But there are so many factors that go into this, and a lot of people like to blame Fields. I am not one of them, even though Fields has a little bit of blame, but it takes a whole unit. Whether we're talking about offensive line struggles, whether we're talking about the wide receivers' inability to create separation in routes, whether we're talking about the pass concepts that the Bears had, even though I attribute some of those concepts more to the weapons not really necessarily getting open versus anything else. We had some Justin Fields inaccuracies at times. So Justin Fields, he did improve his accuracy better down the season. We've seen he can be very accurate throwing the football deep, and we've seen that later on in the season. And we also have to throw in Velus Jones Jr.'s speed that could help, but it did not really help much because he had an ability to drop the football as well. We're talking about a lot of factors that go into the grade of Justin Fields, and it goes outside of Fields himself. We're talking about offensive line struggles, as I pointed out. We're talking about the wide receivers' inability to create separation and the passing concepts of the Chicago Bears offense not really being so great. We're just talking about the running game being so prevalent and so consistent that the Bears tended to run the football more with not just Fields, but with Montgomery and Khalil Herbert more than they did throwing the football down the field. Now, if I was going to grade the entirety of Justin Fields' 2022 season, I am going to give Justin Fields a B, and here's why. Number one, you saw his athletic ability and his ability to be special with his legs. And when he was afforded the opportunity to throw the ball down the field and push the ball down the field and make some plays in the passing game, he was able to do so. So when you're looking back on it, you can see the talent of Justin Fields is there. You can see his mental makeup and his mentality, his toughness is really there. He's an excellent leader, and we've seen that with his ability to take a lot of hits and still come up and pop and play. And he did miss 2 games against the Jets, and he also missed the last game of the season against the Minnesota Vikings, and the Jets was doing to the shoulder injury that he suffered against the Falcons, and he missed the last game of the year due to the hip injury. We also see that Justin Fields, he has a lot of growing to do, don't get me wrong, but we see the potential there. We see there. At this point, I'm going to give his season of 2022 a B. His running game was very effective, and we see he can be a passing quarterback if he has the weapons there and he has the time in the pocket. So overall, Justin Fields, a B. for 2022 in his year 2 development as a Chicago Bears starting quarterback. But that is all I have for you guys today. That concludes episode 3 of season 6 of Chicago Bears Weekly. Make sure you guys leave this video a like as it continues to help this channel to grow and it beats the algorithm. Comment you guys' thoughts in your personal grades of Justin Fields' year 2 development with the Chicago Bears. And as well, make sure you click the subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss any of the videos that I post. But I am APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great and excellent day. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.